The old 1700s were an age of sails, empire, and endless oceans. Trade routes stretched across the Atlantic and beyond, carrying goods, soldiers, and dreams of wealth. Yet behind the gleam of colonial ambition and naval pride, the seas carried shadows, whispers of fleets that appeared where they should not, and ships that sailed with no crew aboard. It began, as many mysteries do, with the mist. In the harbors of the northern coasts, fishermen spoke of mornings where the fog thickened so heavily it muffled even the sound of gulls. Lanterns glowed dimly, their light swallowed by the grey shroud, and in that silence came the silhouettes, towering masts, sails unfurled, and hulls that creaked as though alive. These were not imagined apparitions, for dozens of men and women bore witness, their accounts preserved in journals, parish records, and maritime reports. The fleets always appeared the same, long lines of 18th-century ships, their rigging taut, their cannons still in place, as though ready for battle. Yet no voices called orders from their decks. No footsteps sounded. The only noise was the gentle slap of waves against their wooden sides. To the untrained eye, these vessels might have been dismissed as merchant convoys caught in the fog. But sailors who had spent their lives at sea knew better. The timbers of the ships were too dark, as if weathered by centuries. Their sails, though intact, bore no national emblem, no coat of arms, no flag of allegiance. Worse still, those who dared row closer swore they could see lanterns burning in the cabins, though no figure ever lit them. The documentary records of the old 1700s paint a chilling consistency in these encounters. On June 12, 1701, Captain Elias Marrow of Whitby reported. A dozen ships appeared in the harbor at dawn. Their sails full though no wind stirred. We hailed them, but no reply came. Upon nearing, my men claimed shadows moved along the decks, but I myself saw none. By mid-morning, the fog lifted. The old 1700s were a golden age of exploration, but also a century of vanishing fleets. History records them plainly, ships that set sail with full cargo, fresh crews, and favorable winds, yet never reached their destinations. What was unusual was not merely their disappearance, but the strange echoes that followed. From London to Lisbon, from Brest to Copenhagen, families awaited vessels that never returned. Insurance houses, already burdened by the losses of war, found themselves swamped with claims for cargoes that simply vanished. Admirals at their desks wrote in frustration, no report of storm. No trace of wreck. No survivors. The sea has devoured them whole. But the sea is rarely so clean in its work. Storms leave driftwood and shattered masts. Wreckage floats for weeks. Sailors, even when lost, wash ashore. Yet in these cases of the old 1700s, nothing returned. And then, the sightings began. In 1702, 3 months after the Spanish galleon Nuestra Señora del Mar was reported missing, a fisherman off the coast of Galicia wrote in his log. At dusk, in heavy fog, I saw her. The same crest upon her bow, the same figurehead. She drifted with sails full though the air was dead calm. I rowed toward her, heart in my throat, but when the mist cleared, she was gone. What disturbed authorities most was the accuracy of these reports. The fishermen and sailors described not vague shapes, but exact details, carved figureheads, hull markings, even paintwork, details only those familiar with the ships could have known. More troubling still were the accounts of entire armadas disappearing. In 1703, a Dutch convoy of 5 merchant vessels departed from Rotterdam, bound for the East Indies. Their holds brimmed with spices, silver, and porcelain, treasures that could enrich an empire. They never arrived. No storm was reported. Weeks turned to months, then to years. The Dutch East India Company searched fruitlessly, bleeding money and reputation. Yet in the winter, among the countless ships lost in the old 1700s, one name echoes louder than the rest, the Ravencrest. Launched in 1698 from Portsmouth, she was a proud galleon of formidable size, her black hull and silver-inlaid figurehead setting her apart from all others. The Ravencrest was designed for long voyages, deep holds for trade, reinforced decks for combat, and a captain whose ambition was whispered about even in the highest chambers of the Admiralty. His name was Captain Alastair Vane. The Ravencrest set sail in 1701, bound for the West Indies. She carried not only cargo but also passengers, merchants, soldiers, scholars, and their families. Some 200 souls boarded that vessel, never to be seen again. Or so it was thought. For months, no word arrived. Then came the sightings. Off the coast of Portugal, a whaler reported a black-hulled ship drifting under full sail, lanterns glowing faintly in the mist. The crew hailed her, but no voice replied. Instead, shadows moved upon her decks, indistinct forms, tall and many, like soldiers standing at attention. As the whaler closed in, the mist thickened, and the ship was gone. 3 weeks later, off the coast of Morocco, a Spanish patrol described almost the same scene. Again, a black ship, sails taut against no wind, shadows shifting across her deck. And again, vanishing in fog. The Admiralty dismissed these sightings as coincidence. But privately, notes circulated among officials: if this is the Ravencrest, then it is no ship of men. What sets the Ravencrest apart from other tales of the Phantom Fleet is the fragments left behind, traces of her story preserved in journals, recovered documents, and desperate letters smuggled back to shore before her last voyage. One such letter, written by a midshipman named Harrington, survives in fragments. It reads: "The captain speaks often of eternity. He says the sea is no mere expanse of water, but a gate if one dares seek it. He keeps charts locked in his cabin.